Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 8 video lessons. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you're doing well. My dear curious learners, we are going to start with our grade 8 unit number 3 and the title is Don't Quit. You have already gone through this poem very well. Now this will be our lecture number 1B with the competency of grammar that we are dealing with. Now let's get started by reading our students' learning outcome and try to understand that what we are supposed to do. So our SLO is identify the varying positions of adjectives in sentences and apply in their writing. So we have to identify what? The positions of adjectives where adjectives are placed in a sentence. And we have to apply all these rules and techniques and positions of adjectives in our writing. So this is our student learning outcome for today's video lesson. Let's get started with a vertical linkage to remind you that you have covered this SEO in the previous grade and you can recall most of your concept. Now in that previous grade you saw that how you can locate the varying positions of adjectives in sentences. Now recall your knowledge about adjectives because we are going to have a very interesting brainstorming session in which we have a very interesting question that you have to describe your favorite place using many adjectives in 5 sentences. So you know that adjectives are used to define the noun or the pronoun. So you need to use adjectives to describe your favorite place. This is your brainstorming session for today. Now after doing it, let's move on to the topic which is about varying of adjectives in a sentence. So varying means there are different ways, different positions of adjectives in sentences. Now let's recall what is an adjective. So adjective is one of the parts of speech. You already know this. An adjective is a word that describes, explains a noun, noun phrase or pronoun and provides more information. Adjectives can come either before or after a noun. An adjective that comes before a noun is an attributive adjective and an adjective that comes after a noun is a predicative adjective. So we looked at the definition and also we see that adjectives coming before and after the noun is having different names. For coming before it we call it attributive adjectives and for the after we call it predicative adjective. Now let's move on. Let's open your book page 25 and read this varying position of adjectives in a sentence. Adjectives before nouns, as we talked about it in the previous slide. Now when adjectives come in a noun phrase, they are normally immediately placed before the noun. Let's look at an example and break it down further. The example is an enormous oak tree stood. Now adjective enormous is telling the size of the noun. Now this is coming before our noun which is an oak tree. So this is what we call attributive adjective and it's coming before the noun. So this is one of the example of adjectives coming before the noun. Now let's see how we use it when it's coming after our noun. So again from your book, some adjectives are used alone after nouns. For example, the cottage was small. Now small is also telling us the size of our noun, which is cottage, and it's coming after the noun, and here it's the last word of this sentence. Now this is what we call predicative adjective. Now it is very much clear from the sentence that nouns, when they are coming after adjectives, when they are coming after the nouns, they are called predicative nouns, predicative adjectives, and this is how they look like. Now let's see what happens if we have to use adjectives just closer to the noun. Let's see. Adjectives used only in front of nouns. When adjectives are only used in front of nouns, like northern, southern, eastern, western, outdoor, and digital, here these are coming with the noun in front of the nouns. Let's see. I live in Russia. Now, northern here is coming with our noun, which is a proper noun, Russia. It's coming right in front of it. So it is also telling the specific location, specific part to which we are referring to the noun. Let's see. I have outdoor lights in my garden. Now we are talking about, and we are actually giving information about our noun, which is lights, and this is coming right before, right in front of our noun, and outdoor is our adjective. Now you can clearly see that nouns, when they're coming right before, right in front of adjectives that are coming right in front of our nouns, they tell us more about the noun that we are dealing with. Now, after looking at all these three, let's move on to another one. Adjective after condition verbs, for example, be, other forms of be. So when adjectives are coming after condition verbs, let's see. When adjectives are used to describe the condition of things and people, etc., be is a condition. For example, she is beautiful. Now, this adjective beautiful is coming after our verb be, and is a form of it. So this is one of the examples. I am industrious. Now here, this is also a form of be. It is also coming before our noun. Now, when adjectives are used to describe the condition, now this is describing condition, that she is beautiful, and she is, it means it's telling us that it is happening, it is in the present form, it is still holding its condition. I am industrious, am shows us that this is actually a current condition of what we are talking about. So here we cleared it with two examples. Now we have some sentences over here. You have to read the following sentences and notice the change of meaning. Let's read it together. He is my old friend. Now let's read the other one. My friend is old. What do you see? What is the difference between these two sentences? Yes, the positioning is very much different, and it changes the whole meaning. So we have to be very careful when we are using adjectives, and we have to use them in their right position. And if you somehow make an error or a mistake in using your adjectives in both writing and speech, the meaning will be changed. Here, he is my friend shows us that he is an old friend, someone, a friend who I know long ago or way before. Now here, my friend is old is telling us, the adjective is telling us that the friend is friend's age, and he is very old. Now these two are very different sentences when we change the position of the adjective. Let's look at some more examples over here. He had a beautiful smile. She bought a loaf of white bread. There was no clear evidence. I am cold, I felt angry, and nobody seemed amused. Now, can you guess that where the adjectives are used? Can you spot the adjectives and can you tell their position correctly? Now, my dear learners, moving on to our simulation video for today's video lesson. The topic is, as you know, varying positions of adjectives. This video will help you to understand more about the topic. You can watch it later, right after you finishing watching this video lesson. So, for your classroom activity that you have to do, this is from page 25. You have to rearrange the words in the correct position of adjectives and rewrite the sentences. Now, all these sentences are in a very disoriented order. You have to make them in the right order and keep in mind that we are using adjectives correctly. Now, here is your worksheet that you can solve. It will be distributed to you by your teachers or facilitator. Moving on with time to discuss our homework. Now, this is from your book, page 25. Make sentences in your notebook with the correct position of adjectives. Use 3 to 4 adjectives in each sentence. Now, we are here at the end of our video lesson with some resources that we need to introduce to you. Worksheet, presentation, lesson plan, skill sheet, and a question bank. All these are attached and can be found easily in the description of the video. My dear learners, thank you for listening, and we discussed our SLO about varying positions of adjectives. We saw it before noun, after the condition verb, and also right in front of the noun. I hope that you have fully grasped the concept and now you can easily and correctly use your adjectives in the right position. Thank you. Till the next video lesson. Allah Hafiz.